showed me why. Instead of asking why, start asking why not. Time flies when you're having fun. Time flies when you're lying in the sun. Bit by bit, the older that we get, the faster it tick, 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 ticks. Time flies. Whoa, whoa, time flies.
Good afternoon, Marshfield Old School Times again with you today. This is Lyndall Fraker, and I've got some very special guests with me today, the Wrinkles, Cheryl and Terry Wrinkle. Welcome to Marshfield School Times.
Thanks.
Wrinkles have been, and I might have not got the exact time right on my introduction when I posted yesterday, but you've been in Marshfield about 40 years, haven't you? Isn't that pretty close?
Pretty
and
close.
how long have you been married now?
43 years.
43.
Last
So
year.
I had that pretty close too. So.
43
I can
long
tell you this,
years.
the first friend I had in Marshfield
Was Lyndall Fraker.
Oh, well, that makes me feel very
Marshfield
special.
Church, we went through the confirmation class.
That's
together.
right. I remember that.
That's right.
Well, that's exactly right. We've been friends a long time, and we've always had a lot of great conversation and a lot of laughs, lots of laughs along the
So
way.
things
So.
we talk about.
Even
Your hair's a different color today than it was.
Mine
then.
is too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But didn't you like my little intro with the little wedding topper?
I
You know, the
did, I
perfect
did.
little couple.
Yeah.
You know,
I
40 years
forgot-
ago on a wedding topper, and this is what they would look like
I
today.
forgot that
so.
we were used as a model for that. So.
But we're gonna talk about all things wrinkles, and we like to start at the beginning. So Cheryl, let's start with you.
Okay.
Talk a little bit about where you grew up and your folks, your family.
Okay.
You know, both of you basically have lived all of your life. What, 30 minutes from Marshfield,
Right.
pretty
I
much.
lived all my life on Road 66.
There you go. Yeah. So go ahead,
Okay,
Cheryl.
well, I was born and raised in Rogersville, Missouri, and I graduated from Rogersville in 1973. My mom and my dad lived on a farm. We had a farm on U Highway, beautiful farm, by the way. Dad milked cows, Jersey cows, until I was like 16. Then one day he sold them all. He went into bee farming because he was also building homes in Springfield, and so he couldn't do it all. So.
Their names were
Jesse and Evelina Davis.
Jesse and
I had
Evelina.
two older brothers, Denny and Galen. Both of my brothers are now deceased, along with my parents, so I'm the only one left. I have wonderful sisters-in-law, nieces and nephews, but siblings are gone. I went to Missouri State University, and I got a degree in social studies education, and I taught 9 years in Lebanon in the junior high school. And then, as fate would have it, whatever, God, whatever, I became an elementary school principal here in Marshfield. Loved that job and learned a lot. And then do you want to hear the rest of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what
and
we're
then
here for.
and then I came to this building when it was the central office in Marshfield, and I finished my 33-year career in public education as the director of special services. And I'm always very thankful for that job because I learned so much. I learned so much about the law and finances and just all kinds of things.
Kind of the behind-the-scenes part of education,
I learned,
right? Not just the teaching side, but
I've learned. I'm still learning.
administration. Yeah.
And I tell teachers, I still work with teachers, and I tell them, don't ever stop learning. You can learn something new every day.
Wish you had told me that.
Yeah, really.
So you from college, you went straight to Lebanon. That was your first
Right,
job. And then when you came here, did you come here as a counselor initially?
No, we moved to Marshfield from Lebanon because he was working in Springfield and I was working
I
in
got
Lebanon.
promoted from
Right.
route salesman to district manager, and I drive from Lebanon.
And then I heard there was a job here, and I applied, and I got the job as elementary school counselor. So I
As
lived here
counselor,
2 years prior before
Yeah.
working here.
Right.
And after I retired from Marshfield, I actually came back and worked 3 years part-time doing federal programs
Right.
for the district and helping them with their MSEP, their school review for the Missouri department. And then I went to Missouri State as an educational consultant. I've never really retired.
Right.
basically.
Right.
And
You're still working
I'm
today.
still working,
You
yeah.
worked with
Yeah.
me for a couple
Yeah.
of years.
I helped Lyndall out
yeah,
too, his state rep.
Secretary.
Yeah, so I'm not going to sit still
Right,
and
right.
retire. That's not my thing. But currently, I met a lot of people at Missouri State. I worked very closely with Desi at Missouri State because I had a contract with Desi during that time. And I met some really great people. And as I was leaving Missouri State, I was very fortunate to be offered a job through Northern Arizona University part-time, and they are the fiscal agent for 3 of Missouri's areas of work.
Oh, really?
They, as one is the district continuous improvement. We have like 115 school districts that participate in that in Missouri. And another one is the multi-tiered system of support grant. And that is we're going into year 3 with that grant, and we have currently about 30 school districts.
Okay.
So that keeps growing.
And what's the primary thing that you or they do that thing does?
Okay, what I do with the grants is I make sure that we have consultants around the state. I make sure they have the resources they need to go into the schools and provide professional development. And what we do is free. Okay, a lot of schools pay for their PD, which is ridiculous because what we offer is very high quality professional development. And it's
Educating the educators.
Yeah, I work with a lot of school leaders. We work with superintendents, district leadership teams, collaborative teams in the buildings, building leadership teams, as well as the teachers. So we send consultants out to work with these people.
Now, are these like certifications? Do they get credits for this?
That depends on the school district.
I see.
Right?
I see.
Now, I do work with another grant that works to certify special ed directors. That's another grant I work with
Right,
too.
right.
And that's really fun too. So I work 13 days a month. I go to Jeff City once a month and meet with the department because
2
we
days.
work very closely with the assistant commissioner, Mark Wheatley, and all the supervisors in the Office of Special Ed.
Yeah,
Basically.
cool.
So yeah, it's cool. I love it. People are really nice. This is my 4th year, I think, working with NAU, right, Terry?
Yeah.
And
You get 3 different paychecks.
yeah, I get paid out through different pots.
Rough life, isn't it?
Rough,
Rough life.
And someone said, I can't believe you're still working. It's like, well, I don't knit, I don't sew, I don't quilt, I don't have a hobby, which
Yeah.
I probably need one.
She's not 70 yet.
So this is kind
Well,
of
you
my
run,
hobby.
you jog.
I do run,
You
yeah.
jog.
Yeah,
That's
I run.
kind of a hobby.
Yeah.
20 miles a week.
I've been a runner for like 41 years.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that.
Okay.
Terry, let's hear a little bit about you.
Well, I could start out that my grandfather had a Cedar Bluff resort in Hazel Green.
Hazel Green was,
Hazel Green's about
East-
60 miles east of Lebanon.
yeah,
If you
Stoutland,
before
Dixon.
you get to Hazel Green, there's a big bridge. You go down the hill, there's a bridge, and then you see a bluff. You used to be able to see my grandparents' house they built. Big white house. They had bed and breakfast. They had. They didn't have Worlds of Fun or any amusement parks back then. People came in from all over the state. They had float trips. They had fishing trips.
That was on the
Horse-
Gasconade.
Yeah, they had horse riding trips, campgrounds, bed and breakfast.
And that was the early 1900s?
Early 1900s. My grandfather had 2 sections of land that he farmed. He had, back around 1905, 1910, he had local and long distance phones in his barn and his house.
Huh. What was his name?
Grover Elburn.
Grover Elburn.
Yeah.
That was your
Family came-
mother's father?
No, fathers.
Dad.
Your dad's father.
Yeah. My family moved from South.
So it was Grover Elburn Wrinkle.
Yeah.
Okay.
G.E.
Yeah,
Wrinkle.
yeah, yeah,
That's my
yeah.
dad always
Yeah.
called-
G.E. Wrinkles.
Like
Yeah.
that because Dad's name was Glenn Elburn.
I see.
So Dad likes to say his GE, but he wasn't Junior. But our family came in from South Germany into Virginia. From Virginia, they were one of the founding families, and they're on the historical documents, one of the founding families of Knoxville. The family donated the land to the University of Tennessee, which we found out after we all went to college or tried to go to college, that since we gave the land, we could have gone free.
Some kind of a land grant deal.
Yeah.
So this would even, so he owned all this land and you had this sort of resort or fishing spot. That was even before Route 66.
It was Highway 14.
Yeah, yeah.
And
it kind of followed 66, I guess.
back then, he was having to pay rent to go across, take his canoes and boats across this guy's land, bottom land. And he's farming anyway, so he bought this land, and he put his house up for collateral. And back in those days, if you owed for land, and somebody came in and offered to buy it, you had a choice of buying it, or the other guy could take it. And his brother did that to him.
His brother took
Took
it from
everything he
him.
had.
So your dad, was your dad raised there at that place
He
then?
was born in that house January 1st, 1923.
Okay.
And so when grandfather lost everything he had, he built the bridges. His bridge foreman built all the bridges from Hazel Green to Lebanon. And when we got to Lebanon, he opened up the Jefferson Hotel and Cafe, which is where Central Bank parking lot is now.
Mm-hmm.
And they opened it up January 1st, 1929, my dad's 6th birthday. And they had that for years. And
What happened a few months after that?
Yeah.
Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, we've gone through those too. So anyway, he grandfather got into real estate. He had insurance companies. He had the hotel. The land out. Go ahead.
A funny thing about Terry's grandpa, he became very wealthy, and every picture of him and his brothers, they have on these like 3-piece suits with these big fancy cars that look like they're gangsters.
Yeah.
Back in the 20s or so, if you as a business owner, you wore suits.
You
Yeah,
wore suits,
yeah,
you wore
yeah.
suits, right?
Yeah,
It
you
was
let
status,
Yeah.
kind of a status.
Well,
symbol.
it also showed people who you were. If
Right.
they saw you walking down the street, they knew you was a business owner.
Right.
Other than that, preachers.
Yeah.
But
So your dad. So how many siblings did your dad have?
Dad had Florine. He had one was first was Goldie, and my grandmother. She helped build the house. Actually, she was just a carpenter as my grandfather.
Oh yeah.
And she was plowing and nursing Goldie, and her milk spoiled, and Goldie died. It's spoiled milk from the heat.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So then Florine, and then Carter. Carter had businesses
On Route 66
on
too.
Route 66.
These were
Flo-
your dad's brothers and
Yeah,
sisters.
Van Flo was about 17 years older than Dad. Dad
Okay.
came along
Yeah.
later.
But tell
Yeah.
about the store.
But anyway,
Yep.
he got some. Okay, so there's Florine, Carter, Leslie, who built the dairy serve next to Dad's store at
On
Peace
Route
Market.
66,
Yeah.
right?
Let's see, Alma, and she had a son, Gary Nichols, who just died. He was a coach at Lebanon, 60. He graduated from Lebanon. Actually, he lived in the hotel with Dad. And they lived in the back of the hotel
Mhm.
and the restaurant.
A lot of wrinkles around Lebanon besides just you and
Used
your
to
brothers.
be like
yeah.
Frakers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and then the Sheriff Wrinkle was just
Right.
completed a long term as tenure as
Richard,
sheriff.
he was-
Yeah.
And but anyway, grandfather got this property out there on East Route 66, Route 66, on a business deal with real estate, and so he built Rinks Market. Actually, built the building to be another hotel restaurant. Is built to be 2-story.
Mm-hmm.
If you look up underneath the tiles, you can see
Yeah.
steel beams going.
Yeah.
across
We talked about you and I talked about that one
Yeah.
time we were down there.
So anyway,
And this
he
is
got
right
sick.
across from the Munger Moss Motel, which
Yeah.
is a famous,
And
iconic
Rockport
hotel
Cafe.
or motel on Route 66. It's right across the
Anyway,
street.
he
from
got sick. He wrote G.E. Wrinkle, September 12th, 1947, on the front apron of the store. That's the day my oldest brother was born. So when we redid the store, we saved that part,
Saved it.
and Eddie took it with him down to Benito, Oklahoma, when he was
Yeah.
preaching down there.
Yeah.
So anyway, he got sick. Dad bought the store and started out June 10th, 1950. And he died, and actually he was working when he died. He was in the hospital, but he was counting coupons.
Yeah.
And
When was that?
March 15th, 2005, March
205.
16th.
2005.
2 years later, I was cleaning that up. I retired. I was account manager of Coke. And I was going around to help Mom. So I retired and took care of her and cleaned out the store. And
Yeah.
I'm cleaning it out, and all these people from Route 66 drive the highways coming in saying, when are you going to open? I thought, I'm retired. So for a couple of years, I helped remodeled
Right.
it.
Yeah.
And we'd get about 30 countries a year out of the
Mhm.
sign
Right.
up with.
Saw the potential of Route 66 then for sure, and
Yeah.
that's been almost 20 years ago now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's scary.
scary.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, because
Wow.
you was helping me doing some.
Yeah, we did a little work for you down there.
I was using you and Cody
Yeah, yeah.
remodel the house, but I opened it June 10th, 2007, and closed it June 10th, 2009. That was June 10th was when Dad opened it,
Yeah.
and then Rodney took it over.
Yeah.
Until he died.
So your dad and mom got married, and then he was in the service, right? World War II, or
Yes, he served. He was a staff sergeant in Okinawa. He was over. He trained in Hawaii, and was over all the I'm trying to say this right. He was a head sergeant over all the ordering, everything, all the supplies that came into Okinawa. He had a team of men that had to type everything in abbreviations. He had these old Underwood typewriters. Dad was typing menus when he was 6 years old. So on these old, and everything again was triplicate, and then he made one mistake, tore it out, and tore it again.
Yeah.
And Dad was averaging 125 words a minute on these typewriters.
And it's so funny, when Terry's back out of service, he never wanted to travel again. Terry's mom went to Hawaii like a couple times. He said, nope, I'm fine at home. He never wanted to go back. Nope, he was good.
A lot of those guys got back from the war, they never went on.
Right.
He never wanted to go back to Hawaii. He was
exactly.
done.
He had a full life. He was a lay minister for the Methodist Church. He had a prayer breakfast every Wednesday morning for about 30 years at Wild Inn. And he's only working from 7 to 10, 6 nights a week. So we had plenty of time to do all that.
Yeah, right. So was your mother a Lebanon native?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
her dad was Cecil Miser, and her mother was Abigail Miser.
It's another big Lebanon name, old Lebanon
Lot
name,
of
Miser.
Yeah, then we still have Ellen Gale Miser married Chuck Jordan, and Andy works for the fire department. He goes around and inspects buildings. And
I have a story. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
go ahead.
interrupt.
That's
Okay.
what we're here for. Here's stories.
Okay, when I was teaching in Lebanon, I was just a very naive girl from Rogersville, Missouri, Webster County.
Yeah.
Webster
she
County.
married me. She's naive.
So I had this kid in class named Jay Wrinkle, and I had never heard the name
This
Wrinkle
is my
before.
Carter Jr.'s
It was his cousin.
son.
Never
my
heard.
second cousin.
I'm telling the story. Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
So
it is.
I had Jay in class, and I teased Jay all year long about his name because I thought that was the silliest name in the world. Because I was Davis, So, word of advice: never tease anyone about their name because God will punish you.
It might be
and
yours.
That might be your last name. So that's how I became a Wrinkle.
She's never made fun of anybody's name ever since.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. So your mom and dad married, and then they had 3 boys, right?
They got married.
And a daughter?
She was 18. He was 24. Just
Yeah.
got out of the service. They got married December 12th. 9 months to the day, Eddie was born.
Okay.
That
Yeah, it
works.
works. That
Yeah,
works.
That works.
Math works, yeah.
Consummation was confirmed.
Yeah. So that was 1947.
1947.
Yeah.
47, yeah.
Well, it was 1946,
So-
December 12th.
Mhm.
Then he was born September 12th, 1946.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
He's
So
pretty.
so 3 boys, and then the daughter, the sister.
Eddie,
Yeah.
Rodney, and myself, and Chris was. Eddie was 4 years older than me. Rodney was about a year and a half. I was about a year and a half older than Chris.
How about Kimberly?
And then in 7th grade, Dad was born January 1st, 1923. Rodney was born January 1st, 1949. Chris was born January 1st, 1953. And Kimberly was born January 1st, 1964.
So 4 people in the family on January 1st.
Wow.
Yeah.
Always would be eating lunch, celebrating birthdays, and knock on the door, and here come cameras. And Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell about Kimberly then.
Kimberly lived 4 months and passed away. She had 5 holes in her heart, which they could fix now, but she couldn't get over 5 pounds.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a hard deal.
He still says that was the saddest day of his life when his little sister died.
Yeah, it was a surprise.
Sure.
When you're 7th grade, you think everybody's going to live.
And then you had another brother, right?
Then Tommy came around when I was 15, and he's 58, and he's living down in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Jackson.
So there were 5
Mississippi.
kids.
Yeah.
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 Gotcha. So we'll move back to Cheryl for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Cheryl, what was it like growing up in Rogersville in the 60s and 70s? And we're on the farm and obviously school, you involved in school, friends,
Yeah.
so forth.
Yeah, all my friends lived in the country basically. And when I was a kid, we didn't have kindergarten, because we didn't live in town.
Mm-hmm.
And so all my friends were in 4-H. We showed cows, we had horses, we had chickens, and it was just basically farm living.
Mhm.
Mom didn't work; she never worked. Dad worked and worked hard. My brothers worked on the farm, and we did the hay in the summertime. Um, it was just a really nice,
Yeah.
quiet life, basically.
What was your mom's maiden name?
Johns, she was from Sparta.
John's from
Remember
Sparta.
Jackie Johns?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jackie
Murdered?
Johns was
Yeah.
my cousin, the one that was murdered by
Right.
Carnegie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was my fourth cousin.
Yeah.
Another little piece of interesting advice is Charles Dickens is my great 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 grandfather.
Really?
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. We
That
were in London
is.
last month. We went to his home and looked around, and
Wow.
As
pretty
we was
cool.
going, as we turned through, this guy was talking about him, and I pointed like this.
He
and
embarrassed me. Yeah,
said, "This
but
is-"
that's kind of an interesting point.
It is. Where was he raised and all?
London.
Yeah.
London,
Okay.
yeah, London, yeah, London.
Yeah.
And well, he traveled to the States quite often, and anyway, his daughter married a great great grandfather of mine,
I see.
and they moved to Sparta, Missouri.
They did move to Sparta.
Yeah, Bruno, Missouri, right?
So his. Let
First
me
they
get
were
this
in-
right.
Yeah.
Charles Dickens' daughter
Mhm.
ended up moving to
Yes,
Bruno,
yeah,
to Bruno,
yeah.
Missouri.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
well, first she went to Chicago and married a guy that was big in cattle business.
That was my
Your great great. Two great.
great.
And then the next one, I think they lost their money during
They
the
lost the
Depression.
money during the Depression.
And her grandmother never got over the fact she wasn't rich.
Yeah, it was
They were
really, it was really
they
kind
were
of
just
sad.
Well, she was Charles Dickens'
Yeah.
daughter.
Great,
You would have
great-
already been
great-
popular by
I know,
then.
I
Great
know.
great
So
granddaughter.
anyway, that's just a little side point there.
But she
But,
never got over it.
So, so anyway, I did the typical things. I would imagine going to school in Marshfield was a lot like going to school in Rogersville, Logan, Rogersville.
Wasn't as
Back
big
then.
though. Rogers
No,
wasn't
no,
as big.
wasn't as big. My uncle was superintendent throughout the entire
Who was that?
Herbert Luttrell.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah,
entire
Mr.
time I was in school, he was superintendent. So I was a good girl.
Yeah, I
You know,
imagine.
I was afraid to do anything wrong.
And you went
but,
to church right down the road there.
Went to church at Harmony
Harmony,
Baptist
which is
Church
still
on
there.
Highway 125
Right,
and 60.
right.
And my dad, he was a deacon
deacon
there
for
until the
400
day he
years.
died.
Yeah.
But we're very
About
involved,
400 years.
very involved in that church. It was a really good church
Yeah.
when we grew up there.
So when you guys got married, you got married when?
January 15th, 1982.
January 15th of
Mhm.
82.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we did not want a big wedding. We just went to the pastor at the Methodist Church in
Got married in the
Lebanon and
chapel.
got married at the chapel one Friday night.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, right after school.
I worked that day at school, and we got married.
And then you lived on the farm in the farmhouse that
Mhm.
your dad had out
Yes,
there.
yeah.
Well, actually, at that time, she had an apartment, and then my uncle died. He had the farm out there, Wilflow Farm, and Florine moved. She's still working at the store. She moved to one of Dad's houses that we were raised in,
Yeah.
because they built a new house behind.
And so we
the
moved
store.
to a farmhouse.
Yeah.
So we moved to the farmhouse until we moved to Marshfield.
Yeah.
And moving to Marshfield
When was that?
it was 1985.
85.
85. And that was really one of the best things we've ever done.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
yeah.
mean, the community welcomed us. The school district. I
The
would not.
church was
I would.
great.
Yeah, I would not have had the same opportunities if I'd stayed in Lebanon that
Yeah.
I've had in Marshfield. Jack Howard hired me and opened up a whole.
Jack was the best thing
Yeah,
happened to her.
Jack was Howard's
in
wonderful. I still
education.
owe him a lot. Of course, I worked with Mike Watke and
Mhm.
Mark Mayo and Gordon Grant, and Alan Thomas,
Mhm.
and they just really helped me grow as a professional.
Yeah.
And I owe
We've had some
Marshfield-
really
I
good
owe the
leaders
school
here, for
district
sure.
a lot, right?
Yeah.
And
I
I,
had Marshfield my territory also, so
Yeah.
I knew a lot of the businessmen in Marshfield and a lot of people that work there.
but it was the best thing that happened to us moving
Yeah,
to Marshfield. It really
yeah.
was.
And Lebanon, I moved from there in about 74 to Kansas City, and I managed Quick Trips out of Kansas City. And I just really wanted to get back
Yeah.
to Southwest Missouri.
Right. Now, Terry, you had quite a music hobby, I guess. I guess it wasn't a career,
my
but
first
you-
life was music.
yeah. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I played the tuba because Dad wouldn't buy any instruments, and Bruce Barnes and I decided a great way to get out of first hour class and in elementary school was to join the band because they'd pick us up, take us over to Mandarin.
Yeah.
So the guy that they only had one tuba available. And,
Is that the old school downtown then?
Yeah.
High school?
At senior high.
Yeah.
And so he told us the guy that could blow the tuba, make a note, wins, gets to stay. And Bruce couldn't blow a note, and I did. And the tuba was a big, had a lot of history behind it of great musicians. Ross Malone, who still plays at 78, maybe 80 years old in St. Louis. Richard Strader made the All-American Band when he was a junior. So my goal was to get ahead of those guys. That was my competition.
Yeah.
And by the time I was a sophomore, I made the All-American Band. My last 3 years, I had a full ride to Mizzou, and the last week of our senior year, Jerry Hoover was our band director, called me in and said that Lawrence Sutherland, who was the head of music, decided to take a sabbatical and canceled all income scholarships. So anyway, my brother had been quarterback for SMS, and actually his first pass he threw was the school record 77-yard pass.
Really? Which brother?
Eddie.
Really?
First snap. And during the year he got his finger stuck that far in his eye and detached his retina. He'd been drafted by Kansas City Athletics and the Baltimore Orioles as a professional baseball player.
Really?
So all they could do back then was put a silicone band around your eye. So his sports was over. But he became a preacher, and I don't think he ever regretted.
Yeah.
You know.
What year did you graduate high school?
69.
69.
And
Tell 'em about
so
Jerry.
after I went to I didn't know where I was going to go, and the Bolivar candy or toy guy came to the store. He was a registrar at SWBC. And Dad was telling him about what happened. He said, well, he talked to Harold Jackson, was head of music, and I went down one day and auditioned, and they got me a scholarship there.
At SBU.
At SBU, which allowed me to go to school. I started the jazz band down there. They never had a jazz band. And
Oh, yeah?
69, Lebanon had the #1 jazz band in the United States.
Now, Jerry Hoover, for those that don't know, was the band director at Lebanon, and he was a legend just like Mr. Lewis was at Marshfield.
He's 90 years old now.
And he went on to MSU.
No, yeah,
Right?
Jerry, after I graduated in 69, Jerry got a job at Jeff City.
Okay.
And then he went from there to New Mexico State.
Okay.
Didn't him a shit.
And in 1985, when about the time we moved to Marshfield, he took over the SMS band.
Band
Was
program,
about 50 people.
Yeah.
And by the time, 2 or 3 years' time, he had
Barth had him, of course, when he was
Yeah.
nationwide, nationally known
yeah, he was
band.
nationally known and
You know,
was a
and
legend up there.
up until not too long ago, Terry would still receive birthday cards from Jerry, and he
Yeah.
would draw tubas in it,
Oh, yeah.
and
And
very
then
good.
call you up,
yeah.
play Happy Birthday on the side.
Yeah.
Just he never forgets anyone.
Really?
Yeah.
Where does he live now?
St. Louis. Doug, his oldest
son.
son,
Uh-huh.
has been a band director in Chesterfield for several years.
I see.
And but anyway, I was the only student that I know of that started the band and I was a tuba player, but I played trombone. So I was a lead trombone player since I didn't have a good lead trombone player, and directed the band first semester.
The jazz band
Yeah, I
at
still got
SBU.
till Jim Woodward came in, and I was glad to sit down. Freshman telling seniors how to play phrasing and stuff in jazz didn't go over real well. But after that,
Something tells me you held your own, Terry.
one 15 minutes of fame I had was Harvey Phillips was the greatest tuba player in the world, and he had a solo called Karaoke. And every tuba player that ever played tuba wanted to play that solo.
Yeah.
And
Can you still play the tuba today?
I could.
Could you?
Yeah, I
We don't-
basically just
we don't
rock
have-
music
we don't
now when
have
I get
one. We
around.
don't have
But
one.
anyway, Harvey Phillips, for me going to SWBC at that time, he sent his solo down as copyright, and he sent it down in mail. And we had 7 days to write out all the chart and all the music for each instrument and get it back to him in Boston in 7 days. And I played that all year. And the last time I played it was at the CBDN, which is the College Band Directors National Association's meeting in Tulsa that year. It's about 5,000 college students or college teachers, and that was the last time I played it.
Yeah.
which-
Huh.
I was the only player, two players that ever played it until he died.
Yeah.
So after that, I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston, and I decided that I didn't want to spend my nights playing because I saw up there to be a professional musician, you play nights.
Yeah.
I didn't want that. So
All the time.
All the
Probably,
time.
yeah.
You play practice during the day and
Yeah.
travel and
Yeah.
play it.
Wasn't it, and it would be just over and over the same. I mean, same songs.
Yeah, but you know, Berkeley's the greatest jazz school
Oh yeah.
possibly in the world.
Yeah.
At least it's the Juilliard of jazz.
Yeah. And you learned to play the piano too, right?
Well,
Or you
yes,
just kinda
but I
on your
quit.
own?
And then when I got into my freshman year, I had to take piano, and it didn't come to me quite as easy as it
Yeah.
did when I was sixth grade.
Right.
But
Cheryl, do you play instruments?
I played the flute in the band,
Yeah.
and I remember when I was in band, I know that my band instructor, Mr. Birdie, was always in competition with Mr. Lewis.
Oh
You know,
yeah. Yeah.
And one time, Mr. Lewis came to our school to listen to us play, and Mr. Birdie was really particular about, you know, this man's coming to hear you play, so you guys better do a good job, you know. But I played the flute, and I took piano lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
tuba
So-
player married a flute.
That's right.
And you know, to be honest, I haven't played the flute in so long. I would have to
Right.
really brush up on my skills.
I played the trumpet, and I tried to blow on a trumpet
You
a
could-
few years ago, and it's like
I
the
know.
lip, that just all in the lip.
We have a little trio here.
And we didn't
No.
and we didn't have like marching band in Rogersville. We never had that until much later. Gosh, I guess they
Well,
did
did
now.
Rogersville not even? Did they have football
No,
back then? That's
no,
what I thought. I thought I
no.
remembered when
We
Rogersville
did not. We only
started football.
No, we only had baseball and
Yeah,
basketball.
yeah.
That was it, and track.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, one of the things that moving to Marshfield when I was in high school, Lebanon and Marshfield was very competitive,
Mhm.
especially in band. I mean, Jerry Hoover and D. Lewis
Yeah.
were basically twins,
Yeah.
and neither one of them liked to lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was always a dogfight,
Yeah.
a friendly dogfight.
Right. Right.
And my brother played.
Well, I remember when were you still in the band, or was it after you when you went to DC?
Yes, we marched in.
Yeah.
We marched in
Nixon's
Nixon's,
inauguration,
uh-huh.
wasn't
We
it?
marched in Nixon's inauguration. The week before that, we was the only band in the United States jazz band to play at the College Band Directors Association in Chicago,
Yeah.
and Clark Terry was our featured soloist, who was probably the greatest jazz trumpet player of his era.
Mhm.
And next week we went to marched in the inaugural parade. We got back from the inaugural parade at 5 o'clock in the morning. The jazz band members went home, changed clothes, got back in a bus, and drove to Memphis to play be a featured band in the Mid-South National Convention. So we had gone about 3 weeks without.
Yeah.
You know, that is what you just described is like amazing for high school students
Yeah.
to experience.
Exactly.
I mean, that
Exactly.
doesn't happen
It
a lot.
doesn't.
I mean, that's a lot of
And you know, we just
experiences.
thought it's normal because
No.
Hoover, you know, expressed whatever you're gonna do it great,
Yeah.
and that worked throughout my life. you
People
know.
had students, kids didn't have as many distractions then too. You
Right.
could
Right.
really focus in on whatever it was your hobby or what you like to do, because we didn't have all these distractions that we have today.
Right.
And I think
know-
it's just a different world back then. You know?
Well, and you know, Hoover didn't let us have distractions.
You know, when I look back on my career in teaching, and I think about those eighth graders I had in Lebanon,
Yeah.
you know, they were not sophisticated.
Right.
They're more like fifth graders today,
Yeah.
maybe, because they didn't have all this stuff that's coming in
Mhm.
so hard and heavy with social media and everything that's happening. They were so naive.
Think about it. If we wanted to learn something, we had to go.
You had
I've
to
got these encyclopedias
Yes.
that my mom and dad
Yeah.
purchased when we were in school.
I got that
You had to go
same-
to that encyclopedia, and
To
the
look
thing
it
about it is, what's in that? That was printed in 1964.
Mm-hmm.
That's still what's in there.
Right.
So
right.
every year, as things progressed,
And every year
that
you
didn't
get
progress.
a new
You know,
encyclopedia.
you get an update. Like here's the yearbook.
Yeah,
I mean, it only touched on a few on certain things, big events.
Yeah,
But
it's
you know, if you want to look a subject up, it was still the
yeah.
same thing.
And I can still remember till this day getting my first computer at the school district here in my office.
yeah,
And we had Carrie Cantrell and Ron
mm-hmm.
Pennington
Yeah,
teaching us how to use those computers. And I'm thinking, this isn't going to last.
right.
And then one time I think it was Gordon Grant came in. He goes, I've been to a meeting and we're going to get computers someday that's about as big as a notebook and that thin.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Now we all have telephones and
Yeah.
we have like iPads
When I was
and
at Frito,
laptops and everything. It's
they
crazy.
started handheld computers,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to memorize. We had like 6 pages of products, and each one had a UPC code.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to memorize those because you didn't have time to go look up every UPC code when you're writing an order. So by the time you learn the UPCs, they changed the size of the bag and they changed the UPC code. You remember that from Walmart?
Oh yeah.
Then
I started with Walmart in '87, and Buffalo, Missouri, still had what we call banger register. You had to key the department in. You couldn't even scan. That was '87.
Wow.
By '93, Supercenter division, everything was totally automated. I mean, that's how fast everything was moving back then. And I don't know if you guys remember the first ATMs that we were exposed to. That would have been in the early '80s.
Yeah.
Man, that was really we're not going to need cash.
I didn't
Cash or
trust
check.
Well,
I didn't trust
No, people that, and especially these old timers, farmers, they wasn't going to put their money in a machine.
Even the job that I have
And-
right now, it's like all this stuff that we're providing for these consultants. It's like, okay, how much AI are we going to
Yeah, that's
use?
what's scary.
Yeah, and we don't want to go overboard, but you have to keep up with what's happening. So we need to provide a little piece of AI in it just to make sure we're on top of everything, but you don't want to misuse it. So it's
How
a
many
really
times do you
delicate
read
balance
something
here.
on here and you'll have friends or something that'll repeat it or like it, and it's all fake. You
I
can
know,
tell it's
AI
fake.
generated, I know, scary, I know.
The Beatles and Led Zeppelin's going to have a reunion tour together.
Remember-
Really?
Exactly.
People repeat it.
I know,
Oh yeah,
exactly.
that's going to be great. I want to be there.
Remember when you was managing Walmart, and when I left Frito Lay, went to Guys.
Yeah.
Region manager.
Yeah.
And Guys wasn't even allowed to be in. And theoretically, Guys wasn't on the schematic.
Right.
For Walmart.
Corporately, they weren't.
Because you and I were friends, you gave me this place, and I'd go back to the office, and we'd have to key in each item. What do they call that? Is it code 92 or something like that?
Yeah, something.
But anyway.
But part of the reason we could do that is they still gave the store managers the autonomy to make local purchases. Come Play Products out here, made the orange pumpkins locally, and I could buy pallets of those things and stack them high and watch them fly, and because corporately they were still buying Empire plastic pumpkins that were coming over from China. But they gave us the local autonomy to be able to say, well, no, this is made right here in town. These are our customers. And we could do that. Today, it's not like that.
I don't really help my sales out with my numbers by having a Walmart.
Well, I mean, you had a good product, and it was a local product, and
We were friends.
Yeah, but it was a
we took
Missouri-made product.
But we took care of you too.
Yeah.
And also, to put a little side note, Terry was very close to Melanie's family in Lebanon.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
right.
They were,
Everybody knows your wife's Melanie.
Yeah.
Used to be Hilton.
Yeah.
And my dad's, one of his best friends was her grandfather, Delmer.
Right.
Delmer boated on my dad's bowling team.
Yeah. Ran the radio station. He ran the radio
station. And all the kids, I knew.
them boys.
Danny her dad was a couple years older than me.
Yeah.
Mark was a year younger. We went to school together.
Yeah.
At SBU.
Yeah.
Delana was my age.
Mm-hmm.
They were probably Dad's best customers.
Yeah.
And
all those kids, man.
Well, they lived. I think they lived pretty close.
Yeah, they lived down just about a half mile.
Yeah.
And sometimes Terry and Melanie do things that Lyndall and I just don't understand.
It's 11.
And we'll look at each other. It's a Lebanon thing.
But we've never let him roll back a speedometer.
No, we haven't.
Nothing like that.
Not that we know of.
I can't say I haven't.
Well, Cheryl, we got about 20 minutes left. See how fast this goes?
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about, this is October's Breast Cancer Month.
Right.
And I'm just going to open that door and you take it where you want to. But I know that you've been a survivor, and my wife, Melanie's a survivor now, and everybody knows that. We talk about it. So.
Okay. Well, there's a story here that would like to help people and
Exactly,
make sure that
yeah.
they're educated. When I was 36, I had my first mammogram, and my mom had breast cancer when she was 42, and she kept saying, "You've got to get that mammogram at 35." I was working here in Marshfield as a counselor, and so I finally got it at 36. And I was so shocked because it came back that I had a calcification that they had to biopsy. Still, I thought, not a big deal.
And they
Had,
told her they
had the
no big deal.
biopsy,
Yeah.
but that was no big deal, and it was cancer.
Yeah.
So 36 years old, I had a mastectomy and I had reconstruction.
Yeah.
And back in those days, when you had your first mastectomy, you were in the hospital 7 days. Remember,
Wow.
Terry?
Mhm.
Wow.
And now they send you home.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
how that goes. And so, looking back, I wish I probably had just had the double, but back in those days, they didn't do
No,
that.
right,
I mean,
right.
in fact, I talked to the surgeon about it, and he said, that's just an unnecessary surgery. That's
Yeah.
how they looked at it back
Yeah.
in those days. But luckily for me, during that time, it was not in my lymph nodes. I did not have any additional treatment. So time passes, 30 years,
30 years.
30 years later, and they start noticing a change in a calcification in my left breast. And so every 6 months I would go in and I would have it checked, and finally said, you know what, we need to biopsy it.
Yeah.
So it came back as a stage 0
Yeah.
cancer.
Yeah.
And so I went in for a lumpectomy, and they said your treatment will be a lumpectomy and radiation. So I went in for the lumpectomy, went back to the surgeon the next week, and he said,
Mhm.
you really need to thank God that you had breast cancer.
Yeah.
I said, why is that? He goes, because a little piece of that had already metastasized outside that area.
It had.
And so he goes, I'm going back in to take a larger margin, and some lymph nodes just to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's stage 1. It's no longer stage 2, it's
Yeah.
stage 1. So I went back in, and he did that, and it was all clear. And then I began my radiation, and I think I had 25 radiation treatments, and that was rough because at that time my brother died in the middle of all the radiation I was having. So that was a
And
really
your other brother had just
another
died
brother
too,
died.
right?
Yeah, it was a really tough time,
Mhm.
really tough, but we made it. I
Yeah.
mean, it was tough. So I'm healthy again, and I'm fine, and I'm cancer free. I just had a mammogram last week, in fact, and it came back fine. But women really need to realize that early detection is the key.
Absolutely.
My mom had breast cancer at 42, and back in those days, I was in 8th grade, and back in those days, they just did the radical mastectomy. They knew it was in her lymph nodes, but they didn't do anything else. They thought they took enough lymph nodes. She was okay. When she was 72, 70, no, that's not right, 75, a cell that had lain dormant for that long became active in her lungs.
It did.
And although it was lung cancer, it was breast cancer had metastasized.
Yeah,
So she
yeah.
died from that breast
She
cancer.
did.
She did.
They told her
That's
she
right.
lived
Wow.
5 years on
And
the
she
pill,
did.
and she lived 5 years.
And
She
then,
did.
She
Yeah.
did, yeah. And
So
then
she made it to 80.
She 79.
79.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost 80. And so my niece, who's 10 years younger than me, she also had breast cancer at 36. But the interesting thing about it is I've had the genetic testing, and so has Melanie.
BRCA gene.
BRCA gene.
Mhm.
I do not have
Yeah.
it. And I really thought I probably did have it with the
Mhm.
history. But, I want to encourage women, though, like Melanie, she's been so strong,
Mhm.
that, it's something you can get through and you
Absolutely.
can get past it. It's just the process of getting through it.
Right.
I think I told Melanie, just go through it.
Mhm.
Just
Lyndall
get
and I-
through it and get to the other side.
Lyndall and I both say that it took a lot of strength on our part too.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
A
Well,
lot of people, like
Right.
Cheryl said when she first had hers, some men leave.
yeah.
They don't
because of that.
understand. They don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. Well.
And
That was the last thing on my mind. Last
Yeah,
thing on
yeah,
your
yeah,
mind,
yeah.
But,
it's
you know,
just
I think Cheryl and Melanie both got through it better having great support from
Oh,
their
no,
husbands and
no doubt
loved
about that from everyone. All the
Yeah.
family, the children have to understand. But
right. And it's
um,
it's hard. It really
yeah,
is. It's
yeah.
just it changes you.
I think the thing for us, and I think she would say this, is just the fact that it's hanging out there now.
Right.
So at any time, just like for you, even though
Anytime.
it was 30 years later,
Mhm.
at any time you could wake up and feel another little lump. Well, I guess you wouldn't feel it there, but you
Right.
would something you
Sound
could
like a
have
pilot light.
you could have some kind of a test or some
And-
issue, and it could be somewhere
Yeah.
else. Is
And the
what I'm saying.
strange thing is with my situation, the one I had 3 years ago, was not even related to the one I had 30 years prior.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
Yeah.
like, it wasn't even related to the first breast cancer I
It
had.
could be another kind of cancer
Yeah,
even.
it's
Yeah.
just like,
So we all live with
yeah,
that. But
and yeah,
yeah.
it's just,
But
yeah,
anyway.
yeah, but anyway, it's just like, you just never know what your
She
body's
had a
doing.
spot in her
so-
lung last summer, and which kind of concerned us because, you know, her mother's had gone to her lung
Yeah.
after a certain amount of years,
Yeah.
and she had that checked out and was okay.
Yeah.
But like Lyndall said, once you've had cancer, anything that happens is like, oh, it's back again. And
Yeah.
they saw
Or it could
spots
be, yeah.
on my lungs, and I was thinking, okay, here
Right.
it is again.
Right.
But it actually was scarring from histoplasmosis from being around chickens when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know, it's just anything that happens, you're thinking, oh, it's back.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, it's
I
just,
I read something somewhere here recently, going through this, and the one thing that struck with me that I think we forget, though, we've been so blessed to be able to be given the opportunity to live a 60-year life, 70, whatever. Think about the millions and the 1000000s of people that don't get that opportunity.
Right.
They don't even get a chance. The babies that are aborted.
right.
Kids that are happen to be born in another part of the world that don't get an opportunity to live like we do, and
Look how
Marshfield,
many-
Missouri, and in the Midwest, and with great families and great grandparents and just extended families, and it's like, my gosh, we've already won the game.
We have,
So
we have.
no matter what happens at this point,
Right.
and
Right.
certainly we all want to live to be 100 or
Right,
whatever, or
right.
90, but it really, we've still so fortunate to be in a league of our own, and so I guess that's what you have to
I
look at
think
things.
we should never take anything for granted. I think we should just be very thankful and feel blessed.
Yep.
Because when we look back over our lives and your lives, we have indeed been blessed.
Absolutely.
And we need to help others.
Yeah.
You know, and church has been a large part of that.
Yeah.
We don't go. You don't either go to the church here in town now.
Right.
We're going. She was raised Baptist, so we became Baptist.
Yeah.
And that experience has really been eye opening for me.
Yeah, and as you go through the different phases, the
Yeah,
different
phases of
seasons
it.
of life, you probably have eye-opening experiences.
Like
You have a
when they-
reason. You have a reason to say, well, this is not really where I need to be now. I need
Need
to.
to be-
I want to.
yeah, you can make changes.
You
You
can
can
make
adjust.
changes, and right or
But-
wrong. I mean, it's okay if you. It's all about having peace of
Yeah.
mind, being
Making
comfortable,
choices.
learning more about our faith, and worshiping our Lord. In a way that we feel good about.
And
My
I don't
big,
think-
my big
I don't-
thing was when they baptized me. I had to be baptized
Yeah.
because I was a Methodist.
Yeah.
They held me down 5 minutes. They said, Cheryl said, when the bubbles stop, check him.
Well, God must have wanted you to. He still needed you on the earth there.
Well, I think that shows you that you continue to make decisions for what you see you need is best for you.
Yeah,
throughout your
yeah,
lives.
right.
And, we made a lot of friends throughout the years, but Lyndall, you're the steadfast friend that we've
Oh,
always
well,
had. You and Melanie.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
you're solid. You're there for us. We know if there's anything we need, we can call Lyndall. Or
There's
Melanie,
there's
yeah.
people that you can confide in,
Right.
that you can
Right.
bounce ideas off of,
Right.
and know that if it's a confidential issue, you don't.
Who
And
you
you
can
guys
trust.
have been that way
Yeah,
for us,
yeah.
and so.
You're our confidant.
That's the
right.
great thing about friendships.
Well, it's like
Everybody needs friendships
Exactly.
beyond family.
I think of
Exactly.
Marshfield.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I think of Melanie and Linda
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the kids. I wrote Landon a song when he was
Oh,
born.
Yeah,
that's true.
that's
When he
right.
got- When he got
Yeah,
baptized.
right.
And they
Well,
put it in the church, and that was special for me.
Right.
I think it's special for you guys.
Yeah, well, absolutely was. And
Still have a copy of that.
friends that you can laugh with, that you
yeah.
can cry with, that you can
And
be
you have-
yourself,
And you have history
that
with.
kind of thing.
I mean,
yeah,
we can
yeah.
laugh about
Yeah.
trips to Eureka Springs and
Yeah,
Key
or
West. And,
wherever.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
That,
We
and
got
that was
good
actually
stories
on my notes.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about your travels. Now, you guys, since you're not really retired, and you stay busy with coin collecting and working in the yard and all that, but you guys find time to travel.
We do. We do.
So tell me a little bit, because I know you just got back from Europe, and I
Yeah.
mean, you got some pretty
Well,
cool travels to talk
we,
about.
She's
We-
got a cast on put
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
those of you who don't
tell
know,
about that.
I broke my foot in Paris. Welcome to Paris. But that's a story for another time. I'll tell you in a second. But anyway, stay tuned.
Yeah.
So anyway, we decided that, we're gonna vacation, we're gonna go places, and Florida was our mainstay to go there all the time, and so we decided to go different
At first.
places,
Palm
and
trees, that's cool.
yeah, we still love Florida.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
go
yeah.
there next week if I could.
Yeah.
You want to go?
Oh, yes.
We live
Are you
with
okay? Are you really?
Our family vacation.
Yeah.
So
Finally.
we love Florida,
Yeah.
but we decided about a few months ago that we really wanted to see Europe, and
Yeah.
we're going to go to Italy, but it's like a big festival in Italy right now. It's like the homecoming for the Catholics, and Rome is packed.
Yeah.
So we decided not to do that, and the Jubilee. So we decided to go to London and Paris, and we had a great time. I mean,
Good.
we saw things that we were amazed at, and as we were riding the train, we rode the train from London to Paris, and as I stepped off the train onto the platform, I
There's
lost
a gap
my
about this
step.
far between the train and the platform. I had a backpack on, and I don't think she saw the gap. And I hear this crash.
Oh.
Turn around and here's Cheryl trying to get out of there.
So anyway, long story short, I thought it was sprained. And then when I got back home, I went straight to Dr. Robinson's office, and he said, "Well, Cheryl, you've got 3 broken toes, and I also had 2 fractures on top of my foot."
So
But
you were still walking around
yeah, I
with
thought it was sprained. Yeah, I walked around
Well, we tried
Paris.
to go to the
Yeah,
American hospital. The insurance we took for that, they wouldn't take the insurance.
it
Why?
was
They
just the
just-
system they have there,
didn't.
and it was a 6-hour wait. I
That was
thought,
in Paris.
yeah, I thought I got things to do. So I found a really nice pharmacist, and she gave me some cream and looked at it because I don't know what's wrong with it, but take this, wrap your foot, and take this medicine. So,
Yeah.
but we
London
made
was
it.
really an eye opener as far as excuse me.
What was
The
London? Yeah.
the black cabs over there. I'll tell this right quick. Those aren't just cab drivers. They have to study for 4 years to get certified. There's
25,000
25,000
streets in London.
and intersections and crossroads that they have to know every one of those.
Wow.
And there's 17,000 points of view that they have to know.
Points of interest.
But
Yeah.
on the other hand, there's 250,000 Uber drivers in competition that just, you get in, they can't speak English.
Yeah.
You tell them where to go, they put it in on their phone, and they don't talk to you. These guys are talking in black cabs, this is there, and
Yeah.
But it is an Uber system,
Uh,
kind of.
there's
black
a taxi.
cabs are not.
Black
Oh,
cabs
so
are
the blacks
uh,
are okay.
yeah,
Black cabs are
yeah, and then
actual
there's
and
taxis.
they have to buy their
yeah.
own cab, which costs about $70,000, $80,000.
So it's a business. I mean, it's
Yeah.
their business. It's really interesting.
does
They're not
sounds good.
55 Chevys from
No.
Yellow Cabs. Like
No, it was really interesting.
seen the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. So
See
that
the-
was fun. So I don't know what we'll do next, but that was fun. So
Yeah, I bet it was.
yeah, it was good. It was a good time. So I think maybe Italy next. My sister-in-law is in Europe right now on an 18-day trip, and she's hitting everything.
Have
but
you guys done
Paris.
cruises?
We did a cruise once. Terry wasn't a big fan
Wasn't
of
a
the
big fan.
cruise.
Man, it tossed
yeah.
me over halfway out.
Well, I mean,
No,
to
I'm
me,
just
it's
kidding.
like, I guess if you're cruising at night where you can go to
People
port.
love
Yeah,
it.
I know
It
they
just
do.
wasn't our we went to Alaska and didn't cruise. We just
Yeah.
we rented a car and we did a
Yeah.
train, which was a lot of
I
fun.
bet that
yeah.
was.
Well, on the cruise, got into Puerto Rico on July 4th, and the fort was closed. We had from 5 till 12, I believe,
Remember. It's been
that
so long.
night. And, we do a lot of things on spur of the moment.
Yeah, and
Like
relax
birth-
and not be
birthday's
rushed.
the
and-
19th. We may go somewhere. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
We'll wake up in a new world every day. You know.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's the beauty of
But the
it, being
big thing
retired
about-
and having a
Yeah.
life. that you can
traveling's
live.
fine,
Flexibility.
but our main love of life is our hometown, our friends,
Right.
our church,
Our dogs.
our dogs.
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
got to
yeah,
talk about the
okay,
dogs, and we've
okay.
only got 6 minutes.
Okay, well, we have 2 English
Yeah.
speaking Spaniels we're in love with. We have Yogi and Yachty.
That picture?
I'm sure we can put a picture up later. Yachty was a rescue from the Job Humane Society. He was a devil
Day
dog.
after,
He was horrible.
day after,
W died.
Yeah.
day after
No.
Easter.
Oh, Yachty, yeah.
Yachty.
Yeah.
Now you had W how long?
11
11
years. 11 years.
And that when did he die?
It's been, well,
He was
Yogi's
10 years old.
10 years ago. 10 years
Okay,
ago.
10 years
September
ago.
27th, I
Been
was
10
a
years.
bailiff with Andy at the
Yeah.
courthouse, and we were going to the Springer Nationals on
Dog
Saturday.
show. Dog show.
Dog show, and
St. Louis.
I was going to march Yachty in the rescue
Parade.
parade, and Yachty he started
No,
passing
Yogi,
blood on
W.
W started passing blood on Wednesday took him to the vet on Thursday night. Friday, I called Max, and I said, "Is he okay?" He
Max
said,
Bartman.
"Well," he said, "he's got leukemia." And I said,
Oh,
"What
yeah.
would you do?" And he said, "I'd put him to sleep."
Yeah.
So we went ahead and went, and because leaving Yachty at home as wild as he is by himself, tear up the house. And we got up there, and we got Tommy Bahama, who was one of the greatest show dogs in the United States at that time, and we bought one of his pups.
Made a nice shirt too.
Yeah, yeah, it did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so anyway, we bought Yogi
Yeah.
the day after W died, not to replace
see.
W,
Yeah.
but because we were there and he
How
was
long
there.
had you had Yachty then?
Yachty's 11, so about
About a year.
Yeah,
or-
yeah, about
yeah.
11 years. Yeah, we had Yachty. Yeah, and so Yachty will be 12 in January.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of W, if you can see it.
Hold it right up real close. Yeah.
That's
there you
W.
go.
Yeah,
Well,
W
We
helped.
got him.
W helped Lyndall campaign.
You
It's
lost
gone,
it.
Terry. You
lost
lost him
it.
too.
Flip it.
Oh.
You know. There you go.
W campaigned with
Yeah.
He
W
marched, he
was
marched
the-
in parades with senators and
Lyndall,
and,
yeah. He went door to door
it's
too
easy
for
to
Lyndall.
find out
remember
what
that?
political party you're talking to when you tell them your dog's name is W.
Especially when W was had just been the president.
yeah.
back then.
And he was a great dog. He
So
drank
anyway,
beef,
so
cooked the house.
anyway, Yachty was bred to hunt. Yogi was bred to show. We don't show Yogi,
Yeah.
but he is a
We're
beautiful
not competing
dog.
against that.
And we're kind of glad they're not puppies anymore because it's a little bit easier.
A little more docile.
Yeah, a little more docile.
Something else I want to show too that I should have showed earlier when we were talking about it, but this is a thermometer from Rink's Market in
Hold
Lebanon
it up just a hair. There
There
you
you
go.
go.
that my dad had hanging in his shop. Because my dad used to go into Rink's Market when he was a field service man for Kraft.
And I remember
In the
them shopping.
60s.
And I
And
remember
he would
Don.
stop in there and get a sandwich or whatever. And
And they shop
Mr.
there.
Wrinkle gave him this thermometer. This would have been in the early 1960s.
Wow.
And Dad had this thermometer, and he of course was in a different. They built their house in '75, so at some point, this thermometer he hung it up in the shop building that he
Wow.
owned until he passed in 2018.
Does it have the right temperature?
I'm sure that.
About 76.
Yep, probably so.
Well, I remember your dad coming into the store, telling Dad that he was transferring to Marshfield.
Yeah.
So, I mean, your dad and Mom did buy their groceries there.
Yeah, he was in the JCs in Lebanon, and
Some
of course they were
some little kid was there.
probably
I think
Probably.
that was probably you.
probably me.
Since I'm 8 years older than you.
My brother went to his first 4 years of school at
Yeah.
Maple Crest,
Oh, really?
and then
Okay.
Same
so
age
Mike
as you.
did?
He
Okay,
lived
yeah.
out on 32.
we lived on East 32.
So
So
when did
Sold
you
the
go to
house to
school in
Hugh
Lebanon?
Palmer.
Did you go to school in Lebanon?
I only went to kindergarten,
Kindergarten, okay.
with Mrs. Edith Miller
That's Terry's
in
cousin.
the white building on
knew that-
That
You
was
by
did
the
cousin.
cemetery.
They're
George
cousins,
Wrinkle's
right?
daughter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And her daughter's one married
Dennis,
Dennis Hyde, who was a doctor.
her
And
sister.
the other married the judge,
Judge Whipple.
Judge Whipple.
Oh yeah.
He became a federal
Well,
judge.
she
Kansas
she
City.
taught back then. Kindergarten was not
Yep.
really part of the school system. It was
Right.
sort of independent.
Right, right.
And so, and I don't know if I told you this, but so there was only one other student that I went 13 years of school with, because we moved back to Marshfield in '65 and I
Okay,
started
now wait.
first grade.
So kindergarten in Lebanon.
Kindergarten
and
in
then
Lebanon,
Marshfield.
and then Marshfield 12 years.
You went to who?
Pat Bosch.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
They
gosh.
lived on their farm out at Conway, and so
Huh.
she could have went to either kindergarten at Marshfield or Lebanon, and her mother, for whatever reason,
her to
maybe
Lebanon.
worked in Lebanon or whatever. She came to Lebanon.
Oh, that's cool.
So we went. She's the only person I went 13 years with.
Oh, that's neat. That's a
Oh,
good.
that's
That's a
cool.
good memory.
Yeah.
That's a good memory.
Yeah, we talk about that.
Yeah, that's a good
frequently.
memory. Well, that's,
Well, guys, it's
Here's
it's
a picture of
1
Yogi.
minute. We got 1
You
minute.
want to show another picture?
Picture of Yogi
Yeah.
Island. He's
Yeah.
a show dog. He grows about 3 inches of hair a month, and quite a dog.
So
Yachty's
if
around
for
somewhere.
for a couple that do not have human children, they absolutely have the closest thing to human children in their
Right, right.
two dogs, and that's a
If-
good
if
thing.
the boat tipped over and Cheryl had a chance to save me or the dogs, I better be prayed up.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, you hear these stories about dogs being left estates, and I would say if it was a possibility, they would do that. But I don't know.
But maybe not.
You leave dogs,
we just want them to, you can have them.
you get the dogs.
Hey, no problem. You guys have sort of made dog lover out of me too.
I know.
It's kinda,
I know. I'm
took a
happy.
while, but
I know. Oh, Stella's a good girl.
yeah, it makes a
Well,
difference to
when I was
dog
a
too.
kid, dogs didn't come in the house.
No. I had one in the outside, but
Yeah,
it did come in the
no,
house.
we had them outside.
No.
But again, things change,
Things
don't
change.
they?
Yeah.
Things change.
Well, I guess we've about spent this
Okay.
hour and
Yeah.
used it all up,
Thank
but
you.
it's fun. It's always
Yeah.
great to get to know a little bit more about our neighbors and our friends, and of course the main reason we do this is to document history,
Right.
because someday, when my grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren view some of these podcasts, as well as anyone else who's been on, they can see that, oh well, there's I've heard somebody talk about the Wrinkles, and
Right,
a little bit more about
You
you.
know, this is very similar
about
to the
Marshfield.
way Lyndall and Melanie and Cheryl and I talk at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, this is kind of
And
just normal.
a couple of my nieces, one of my nieces and a nephew, they were real excited when they heard about this. So they may be tuning in. But,
Yeah.
but
We encourage that,
yeah, I have,
and
you
we
know,
look forward
great
to
nieces and
to
nephews.
continue to carry on with this conversation with others, and then, who knows, I might put it in a book or something someday. I would
Yeah.
like to try to do that,
That'd be cool.
because these little things, you can put the closed captioning deal, and you can,
Yeah.
you can.
You know, my grandparents lived on Route 66. My dad's store was on Route 66. We live on Route 66.
Yeah, that's
out
right.
towards North U on that road.
Yeah,
We have a lot of history on Route 66.
Right.
Dad did a lot for Route 66.
Right.
When they tried to take the Route 66 signs off the roads, and Dad and several others spent a lot of money fighting in court.
Lebanon has done a pretty good job over the years of preserving and keeping that memory alive with Route 66. We hadn't done as well in Webster County, but we're turning that around. And there's only 10 counties in the state of Missouri that have
Oh, really?
the honor of being a host to Route 66. So that's pretty privileged out of 114 counties. There's only 10.
Lebanon's fortunate to have it Route 60 down Elm Street, the middle of the pretty
Right.
middle of town, where
Right.
Marshfield doesn't have that
Right,
situation.
right. We have the business loop,
Mhm.
but
Business-
city route,
mhm.
whichever town had, you
I've
turn
always,
off.
since I've been here, trying to figure out
Right.
something to do to get it on a
Mm-hmm.
on a road.
But we,
Like
I
Jackson.
think with what we're doing with the revitalization of the old service station,
That's
it's going to
cool.
be
Yeah,
it's
that's
going to be a
neat.
national tour stop.
It's
And,
gonna be great.
And every
drive over and look at that.
every county in the state or in Missouri will have a tour stop that's designated with the interactive sign that's going to be installed
Right.
to take your
Well,
picture,
that'd be neat.
and the other states will do the same. So it's going to be a pretty cool deal,
That's
and
neat.
that'll go on a lot longer than just the centennial year next
And,
year.
You know,
and
I
people
found
that
out-
don't understand Route 66 do not understand the amount of people coming in from other countries
Right.
I had
to
30
drive
countries
Route
coming in the
66.
store.
Right.
And the people, I realized, from foreign lands is more popular there than it is in the United States. So we need to really work on the United States.
And we kind of take it for granted living here.
Well,
you know.
I mean, if you were going to Germany, one of the things that I'd probably would like to see, let's get on the German Autobahn.
Yeah, right,
or
right.
there's something that people, and there they would take it for granted, right?
Right.
But hey, I've always heard about this. This is the highway that General Eisenhower came back and said we have to start a system
Right.
in the United States like this to get
Militarily, so we
yeah,
can move
and
around
so
fast.
that's kind of how it is. But the uniqueness of Route 66 over other U.S. highways from that era is it was the main street of America. It's the highway that carried the troops from the east to the west,
Right.
from Chicago to L.A.
Chicago
And
to
there
San
there weren't that many
Santa Monica.
good highway systems to get across the Rockies. I guess you had Highway 50, up north.
I don't know. I
but
know
not
you
very
do
many.
this too, but when I was in high school, a lot of our off roads that are asphalted now were all gravel.
Oh yeah,
Just the main roads were asphalted.
Right, right.
concrete.
Do you remember when I was president of Rotary, the international conference was highlighting Route 66?
yeah, absolutely.
And they came to the store.
Yeah,
and
I
took-
do.
And so I can't remember the guy's name. He called us. He goes, "I'm in
Poly Pavilion in
I know,
L.A.
In LA, and he goes, "Your picture of
3
because we're on the
jumbotrons.
Rotarian was on 3
He
jumbotrons."
said all these Chinese are grabbing these
With rings
Route
marked.
Rings
66
marked, yeah,
and rings
with our
marked.
picture on it. That's kind of cool.
Dad got more exposure after he died.
Yeah, yeah.
So we take it for granted, but we shouldn't.
No, that's
Yeah,
right.
We need to
Yeah.
preserve
Okay, well, we
it.
better wrap this up.
Okay.
So thank you
Bye,
all for
guys.
joining us
You're
today.
welcome.
Thank you, Wrinkles.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Always a
Love you.
pleasure.
We'll see you soon, maybe next week. Let's see what's on the
Okay.
schedule.